Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl Brandy Shanae, and today I'm doing my June wrap up with all the books that I have read so far this month. So, let's start at the beginning. So, the first book that I read was Cinder. Now, I know I'm really late on this series, I know, but like I said, having kids and stuff, you can get behind on your reading. So, like, Cinder was the bomb. Like, it was amazing. Like, you wouldn't believe. And, like, so far, what can I say? Like, the Lunar Chronicles is just amazing. Like, with this one, if no one hasn't read it yet, let me just tell you what it is. It says, even in the future, the story begins with once upon a time. So, humans and androids crowd the streets of New Beijing. A deadly plague ravages the population from space. A ruthless lunar people watch, waiting to make their move. No one knows that Earth's fate hinges on one girl. 16-year-old Cinder, a gifted mechanic, is a cyborg. She's a second-class citizen with a mysterious past and is reviled by her stepmother. But when her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Kai's, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and a forbidden attraction. Caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal, she must uncover secrets about her past in order to protect her world's future. Because there is something unusual about Cinder, something that others would kill for. So, all I can say is Cinder was definitely is just amazing. Like I said, her character, there was people that didn't like her at the very beginning, but then she seemed to, and she didn't really know her purpose, but that she was a good mechanic, like the best around. And all of a sudden Kai comes around, and I feel like once Kai came into the picture, it sort of like just changed the dynamic of the story pretty much, and everything about Cinder. So this definitely was a good book that I read this month. I loved it. And here, let's do another book that I read this month. Next book that I read was, of course, Scarlet. Yes, once I read Cinder, I had to keep going. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy the rest of these books. Well, at least the other two after it, after Cinder. And so Scarlet. And with her, let's read what it says. It says, even in the future, beware of the big bad wolf. Cinder the cyborg mechanic returns in the second thrilling installment of the best-selling Lunar Chronicles. She's starting to break out of prison, even though if she succeeds, she'll be in the Commonwealth's most wanted fugitive. Halfway around the world, Scarlet's grandmother is missing. When Scarlet encounters Wolf, a street fighter who may have information about her grandmother's whereabouts, she is loath to trust this stranger, but is inexplicably drawn to him. And he to her. As Scarlet and Wolf unravel one mystery, they encounter another when they meet Cinder. Now, all of them must stay one step ahead of the vicious lunar queen, Lavanna, who will do anything for the handsome Prince Kai to become her husband, her king, her prisoner. And let me be honest, Scarlet's character, it was okay. She's not really my favorite. I mean, once she met Wolf, I'm like, okay, they're gonna fall in love. That was predictable. It was very predictable. I'm like, okay, he comes into her picture, into her life or whatever, and I don't know, it was just a little cliche to me. But I guess the whole Lunar Cinder is sort of cliche in a way, I guess. But I mean, this was a predictable read. Scarlet was okay, but Cinder definitely was better. But this book was great this month, so let's continue with the next one. And of course, the next book is Cress. Now, let's see what this has to say for all those who haven't read the Lunar Chronicles yet. It says, even in the future, there are damsels in distress. Cress, having risked everything to warn Cinder of Queen Lavanna's evil plan, has a slight problem. She's been imprisoned on a satellite since childhood and has only ever had her net screens as company. All that screen time has made Cress an excellent hacker. Unfortunately, she's just received orders from Lavanna to track down Cinder and her handsome accomplice. When a daring rescue of Cress involving Cinder, Captain Thorn, Scarlet, and Wolf goes awry, the group is separated. Cress finally has her freedom, but it comes at a high price. Meanwhile, Queen Lavanna will let nothing prevent her marriage to Emperor Kai. Cress, Scarlet, and Cinder may not have signed up to save the world, but they may be the only hope the world has. And Cress was pretty interesting. With this, of course, it's of Rapunzel, of course. As a Scarlet, you have Red Riding Hood, and then Cinder, of course, is Cinderella. But this book was pretty good. Cress, I knew she was going to fall in love with Captain Thorn, especially when she kept talking about how she looked his information up at his past, and she just fell in love with him and started imagining how he would be and everything like that. I mean, this was a pretty good book, especially it kept me reading. Let's put it that way, because I was mostly interested in Cinder anyways, pretty much. But I mean, I don't know, but Cress was really good. And unfortunately, I didn't read Winter yet. I'm going to read that next month, which will be on my TBR. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really interested in Cinder's story out of everyone else, but we'll just have to see. But I love Cinder. And so the next book that I read was Heartless. And I just finished this like a couple days ago or yesterday. But this was really good. Like, oh my god, I loved it. Like, I really loved it. Catherine, all she wanted to do was just be a normal person. She didn't care about anything else or anything like that. And so, I don't know, she met Jest. And Jest seemed such a gentleman, like really a gentleman. I was falling in love with him. And then all of a sudden at the end, I'm not going to say no spoilers, but at the end I'm like, oh no, it makes sense why she was just so heartless and stuff and off with his head. And it's just like, man, a good person, and all of a sudden you got her family, and then you got the king all trying to have her be something that she doesn't even want to be. But that's life for you, pretty much, when your parents think they know what's best for you, but they end up like fucking you over at the end. But hopefully that doesn't happen with everybody's family, hopefully. But love this book. I'll read the back for those who haven't read it, and what it says: Catherine may be one of the most desired girls in Wonderland and a favorite of the unmarried king, but her interest lies elsewhere. A talented baker, she wants to open a shop and create delectable pastries, but for her mother, such a goal is unthinkable for a woman who could be a queen. At a royal ball where Kath is expected to receive the king's marriage proposal, she meets handsome and mysterious Jest. For the first time, she feels the pull of true attraction. At the risk of offending the king and infuriating her parents, she and Jest enter into a secret courtship. Kath is determined to choose her own destiny, but in a land thriving with magic, madness, and monsters, fate has other plans. And of course, fate did have other plans. Like, it's crazy. Like, everything, it comes into a full circle. And with this book, it was great. I mean, it sucks how everything happened at the end, but now we know why she became Queen of Hearts and why she became crazy, pretty much. And so, the next book that I read this month was American Street. I loved this book. It's very realistic. There's a lot that you can relate to American Street by A.B. Zboy, and I just loved it. And loved it. Also, all the books I just showed you is also, of course, by Marissa Meyer. So just to let you know, sorry. But back to American Street. Loved this book. It was definitely, the ending was just like, oh my gosh, he's the one that killed their father. I'm like, oh my goodness, I did not see that coming. But for those who haven't read it, let me read the back for you. On the corner of American Street and Joy Road, Fabiola thought she would finally find une belle vie, a good life. But after they leave Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Fabiola's mother is detained by U.S. immigration, leaving Fabiola to navigate her loud American cousins Chantel, Donna, and Princess, the grittiest of Detroit's West Side, a new school, and a surprising romance, all on her own. Just as she finds her footing in this strange new world, a dangerous proposition presents itself, and Fabiola must learn that freedom comes at a cost. Trapped at the crossroads of an impossible choice, will she pay the price for the American dream? Oh my gosh. In her stunning debut, A Bushcart-nominated author, Ibi Zoboi draws on her own experience as a young Haiti immigrant, infusing this lyrical exploration of America with magical realism and voodoo culture. Unflinching yet filled with joy, American Street is an evocative and powerful coming-of-age story. And, you know, for some reason, like, this book sort of reminds me of Romeo and Juliet, except that Fabiola doesn't die. But everybody else pretty much, yeah, sorry. I'm not going to say no more because I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but this is definitely a must read. I know Ibi Zoboi is coming out with Pride, her next book, her sophomore book, which I think it comes out, I think, in August or September. I'm not pretty sure, but I'm looking forward to Pride. And Pride has to do with, of course, Pride and Prejudice, Mr. Darcy, and all that. But, of course, the names are changed. And it's more urbanized, of course. So, yes, I definitely must read. Definitely go get the book. And the book that I'm currently reading to finish up this month, which I should be done with this book probably by tomorrow or the next day, is... I know everybody knows this, but it is Monday. Monday's not coming. Monday's not coming. Now, from what I read, like, I will say it is slow at the very beginning, but let me tell you, it gets to the nitty-gritty real quick afterwards, like after the introductions and the back history and all that. It can be disturbing. So a warning to those who read it, but it really is a good read. Tiffany Jackson, love her. She is just amazing. I read her book Allegedly, which is also like good, and of course you can see a picture of her. Love it. Allegedly, go read it, please. That's also, warn you, it's very sensitive, dealing with the death of an infant and all that other stuff, so just warning you when you read it, or if you're going to read it. But I will read the front part to you. This is the story of how my best friend disappeared, how nobody noticed she was gone except me, and how nobody cared until they found her 1 year later. Monday Charles is missing, and only Claudia seems to notice. Claudia and Monday have always been inseparable, more sisters than friends. So when Monday doesn't turn up for the first day of school, Claudia starts to worry. When she doesn't show for the second day or the second week, Claudia knows that something is wrong. Monday wouldn't just leave her to endure tests and bullies alone. With her grades on the line, Claudia needs her best and only friend, now more than ever. But Monday's mother refuses to give Claudia a straight answer, and Monday's sister, April, is even less help. As Claudia digs deeper into her friend's disappearance, she discovers that no one seems to remember the last time they saw Monday. How can a teenage girl just vanish without anyone noticing that she's gone? In her dark, thrilling, and timely sophomore novel, acclaimed author Tiffany D. Jackson unravels a complex mystery and explores the traumatic effects of the truth. And so, I'm at what page right now? I'm at page 103 so far. So, this much into reading it, as you can see. So not that far, but I'm planning on reading more and more probably tonight before I go to bed when all my kids are sleeping. And sorry if you hear my son crying. He's with his dad and his grandmother. So sorry if you hear that in the background and wah, 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 but that's my son. He's pretty tired. It is late, so I need to get my kids in bed. But this was pretty much a great read this month. I enjoyed the books that I read. I can't wait to read more. I can't wait to finish the Lunar Chronicles. But this is all that I read this month. And I loved every single one of these books. So if you haven't read these books, go and get it. I'm telling you, these are all great books. You are missing out. I was missing out, but now I'm hopping back into the mix. But thank you once again. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And also, if you want to learn more about me on my beginning of my journey as a booktuber, please subscribe. And of course, there'll be more and more videos coming, and I will be consistent. I promise you, I'll be consistent. But thank you so much, everyone. See ya.